bigger. And there's 7 fat puppies, suckling really well, all came out fine and dandy, no runs, no stillborns. 3 brown, 4 black. You got Skizzy's litter here. And this would be, today's the 25th that I'm recording this, the 24th of May, 2024. The 24th of May. She had a baby. She had her second litter. First litter was Black Betty, Baby Revolution, Modoc, Fuzzy Wuzzy, and Tifa. This litter, we had an accident. It was the damnedest thing. She actually had 6, so 5 of them are surviving, and 1 had died. And I saw it come out. She had sat on it. There was some commotion. It's forgivable. I named him Johnny Jr. So Johnny Jr. did not make it. Johnny Jr. had a black swipe over his eye. He was tiny, but he wasn't tiny as Baby Revolution. He was climbing. He was walking all over the place. He would have survived. He would have lived. So she's got 5 puppies. We see 4 of them now. The little one's actually right there below everybody. You got the black one, the white, and the black one. One tiny one underneath those 2. The one with the white stripe here, and then this sleek black one. They don't look like a Tim Tim or a, I guess we'll just say Tim Tim. They look more like a Lulu, more like a Henry, more like most of my dogs. In terms of their fur. Try to name a couple of them. So the accident, we just drove up the hill. We'd stacked these cages, and the hill was bumpy and to the side and to the side. And there's a gas can, and the gas can was on top of one of the cages. Because it was bumpy going back and forth, the gas can tipped over and splashed the shit out of 3 of them. They're all seeming to suckle and seeming to get their spirits back and their will to live and not scream all the time. Immediately I put water, dipped them in water, got towels and tried to dry them off. And then I just tried one thing after another after another. They had gas on it, so I kept trying to get gas off of it. Try to put a dropper in their mouth. They had gas on them, so they were congested. They had a bunch of shit in their nose, and they couldn't breathe. And then they couldn't, because they were dealing with the breathing problem, and they couldn't suckle properly. And then I don't think she rejected the white one. I don't think she meant to do it. She just turns around, will grab one and grab another, and she doesn't stretch herself out. She kind of puts herself in a circle. He was tiny. Johnny Jr. Johnny Jr. was tiny. So in the commotion of trying to save 3 puppies, a whole other puppy died. The 3 gasoline puppies. We named them Huey, Dewey, and Louie right off the bat. Huey was strong and got bigger. Dewey became Bobby. I was named after Black Panther, so I guess Bobby Seale, Huey Newton. Bobby Seale. And then Rosa Parks. So the female, Huey, Dewey, and Louie turned out to be a female, so we had to, so I guess Rosa and Bobby and Huey. Rosa, Bobby, and Huey. I like that a lot. So Rosa, Bobby, and Huey are the ones that were gasoline, had congestion. We tried to put a dropper in. They were swallowing. Once one got to Huey, got to swallowing more. And then Huey got to swallowing more than try to suckle, and he seemed to suckle okay. So if the other two could just pull through, they couldn't breathe out of their nose. They were just crying so much. They weren't moving their arms. When they're first born, they move their arms and legs because it's like instinctual. You just gotta climb to the teat. And so Huey healed up first. We still had to go back and forth though. It didn't take immediately. He would still suckle, but he still kept crying, and she just kept turning around wrong. And twice after Johnny Jr. was sat on and killed, she was sitting on two other puppies, and they were screaming, they were yelling, and it scared me because it made me think that maybe just as an animal she was, well, when I sit on them, they don't scream anymore. Well, maybe you squish them. So she tried to, lick them and care about them and love them, and they didn't quickly get to the teat. She's also kind of neglectful. Her first litter was 5. 3 out of 5 survived. So poor Skizzy. I need to give Skizzy like a beautiful name. Sunshine. We'll call her Sunshine. Usually I give him 2 names, and whichever one sticks. Skizzy was just so... She would run right out of the door, run underneath the house, be the last one in. She would bark at everybody. And when she would bark underneath the house, her head would hit the floorboard. And it just sounded like a huge commotion. I thought it was like somebody was hitting the floor, and then the dog was barking at the other dog hitting the floor, but she was actually doing all of it. Barking, hitting the floorboard, and being underneath the house. She actually had a perfect little spot there. So she got underneath there. She was kind of queen of that little cubby hole. That was in Conejos, Black Lake. So staying up with them, I want to see if they survive in the morning. I keep seeing movement and breathing of all of them, so I'm actually pretty optimistic. I'm nervous about the move. It'll be bumpy here and there, and then the interstate's smooth. But she just had her babies yesterday, so these puppies are very, very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable. So, and you can hear him still crying. You hear him screaming. What happens if gas falls on your face? When you're just born, gas falls on your face and immediately is not wiped off you. You get gas in your eyes, your nostrils, your ears, your mouth. And just going up the hill wasn't but a minute or two, so I don't want to say they had 5 minutes worth, because I want to say I checked on them right away and shit was going down. The gas can fell, and then so did one of the cages. And Abigail, I gotta still check Abigail's cage, because it only caved in like half an inch, but if it would have stayed there, it would have kept on caving in. So I catty-cornered it, and I think that should fix it, because it was... I just gotta double check, just to make sure. So 2 of these puppies don't have gas. Also, they stunk of gasoline, so I was just afraid she wouldn't take them, or when, you know, who wants to lick gasoline, anything. So, just document it, because what a fucking day. Hopefully these 5 pull through. Hopefully these 5 pull through. And hopefully nothing else fucking comes up. That was a bad omen, Johnny Jr. Freaking got so. Because the gas, because I stacked it wrong. Because I stacked it wrong. I probably should have just left the gas can at home. It was only like a gallon, but it was that mixed stuff. So for the chainsaw, you mix it. And the idea was to kind of take it all. And so I just kind of picked what I thought was useful and wasn't useful. And so that's why I had that. It's not in here now. I'm not sure what to do with it. So that little one and that black and white one are like the healthy ones, the strong and healthy ones. This black one and white one keeps moving around everywhere. These other guys I'm worried about. Whoa! Well, he's strong, but he's lost. Hold on, I'll get him. So, what are we going to call him? Baloo. I'm naming one of these guys Baloo. Oh! Goodness gracious, I am hearing every tiny little scream. Look how comfortable. Just so comfortable. You can tell how happy they are by how they sleep. If they're sleeping on their backs like that, that's like the happiest they could ever be. Blue, I got 3 brown. I think that's blue right there in the middle. Right there. I got 3 brown puppies out of 7, and he's the brownest. He's got brown and black in it. So he's the darkest brown. All these guys are breathing. I see 4 of them right now. Oh, that one underneath. I gotta check that one underneath. So I think that's most of everything that needs to be said. Here, Jordan, Lucy. They helped. So, yeah, then we went and got some milk. So I gotta check. Okay.